Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope your day is doing well. Hope your morning is treating you well. For those of y'all who are watching in the morning right now, in the replay, hope your day is going well. It's hump day, y'all. It is hump day. So hopefully you're having a good one. You know what I mean? Now we're just at the other end of you just got to get through the day, and then just 2 more days until the weekend. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of good things to look into and look forward to. But we got some new updates that happened last night that I wanted to share with you guys, because honestly, I mean, let's keep it real. I got too many questions. There are too many contradicting stories that are getting thrown out here every 5 seconds. And a lot of it has to do with the lawyer. A lot of it has to do with that tenant's lawyer. He's out here just getting wild on the microphone, saying all kinds of stuff. Okay, so we got to talk about that. And the fifth mysterious person. Okay, the fifth mystery person has finally spoke out. You see it in the title. You know, I used it as a quote in the title, or you see it above, you see it down below, wherever you're watching this show right here. This is some crazy stuff. So we got some stuff we got to get into, some conversations we got to get to. Thank you so much, Kimberly in Japan, for just getting the super chat love started today with a super sticker. I really do appreciate the 500 yen. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. And here it is, guys. Before we get into everything, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, hit that reaction button down below. Please be sure to follow me on Facebook. So hit that follow button up above on the Facebook page. All right. Or at least like the Facebook page. That'll be very appreciated. Then, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Crush that subscribe button. All right, that would really mean the world to me as well. Follow me on all my social medias. The Pascal Show, one word. I got TikTok. I got Instagram. Okay, so go follow me on those as well. And of course, if you want to support the channel, you can hit that join button down below, y'all. Hit that join button down below and become a member of the Pascal Show family. All right, keeps these lights on, and I'd really appreciate it. Okay. And of course, check out my merch page, pascalmerch.com. Got some really great handcrafted hoodies, t-shirts, you name it, just for you guys to put all over your body. Okay, so go check out pascalmerch.com. But anyway, we got to get into this, okay? You know, we got to do all the shameless plugs and remind you guys to like and share and subscribe and all that crap. But we got to get into this story. As you guys already know, 3 men were found deceased in the backyard of a tenant's home. Okay, he doesn't own the home. He's just a renter of the home. Okay, those 3 men were found gone. Multiple people were calling, texting, contacting the actual tenant. He was not responding to anything. Of course, they go in, they're knocking on his door, they're doing everything they can, putting energy and a lot of focus on trying to find their 3 loved ones. All right, and in fact, I'm going to throw up their photo one more again. You know, the infamous photo that is being used quite a bit, of course, in everything. Even I'm using it a lot. But these 3 individuals, all right, Ricky, David, and Clayton, all of them found deceased in the backyard of this tenant's home. They're knocking on the doors. They're trying to find out where, friends and family are knocking on doors on that particular house, trying to find out what's going on. Okay. Now, what's really frustrating about all of this is not only just how these men were found, because of course, fiance actually broke into the house, went out to the backyard and found one of them deceased on the patio of the backyard. Then when cops came over, they found the other two men deceased further on in the backyard. And we've already seen the backyard. It's a pretty big backyard. I'm going to keep it a buck. It's a pretty big backyard. All right. But this tenant, well, F it. His name is Jordan. Okay. Jordan does not take text messages, phone calls, DMs, whatever. He's clearly reading these DMs and these text messages and receiving these phone calls, but he's not responding to them at all. People are knocking on his door incessantly, trying to find out what's going on. As soon as 5-0 shows up, that's when he finally starts answering the door and responding and talking to police. And what he says is, oh yeah, they froze. Yeah, that's what happened. They froze. Obviously, all of us are asking the same doggone question. What the hell actually happened here? Now, there's been interviews that we've been seeing, and we may circle back to the Ashley Banfield interview to show the inconsistencies, because it is absolutely crazy, the inconsistencies that are coming out of his lawyer's mouth, which, by the way, Jordan, if you're watching this show right now, you might want to let your lawyer go, and you might want to get your retainer back, because he's murking up the water, and he's not making it look good for you at all in the court of public opinion. And the reason why I say that is because the lawyer's just saying all kinds of different things. One minute he says there that he walked them out the front door. He escorted them out the door. Next thing he says, he was sitting on the couch, right? And he saw them just leave. Then he says, no, he was passed out asleep on the couch. But these guys came back in while he was asleep on the couch. Must have been playing Call of Duty and video games and all that. Went to the backyard and then froze. All this was being said, and then some, in multiple interviews. Not only just Ashley Banfield, even Fox 4, if I'm correct, with the news media, the local news station that's out there. I think it's Fox 4. They had an interview with him, and I wanted to make sure that I corrected myself from the previous show. They had an interview with him before he had the interview with Ashley Banfield, where he was talking about this fifth person. But he was also saying a completely different story on that interview, which I will probably play later on in this show. So strap up, sit down, get ready, get your cup of joe, all that stuff, because it's going to be a wild ride again. But now we got to get into this, okay? Real quick, before we go into the videos and all that. There has been confirmed a fifth person. This is an article that came out yesterday, all right? Or 2 days ago, all right? That we talked about yesterday on the show, that there was allegedly a fifth person. A mysterious fifth person out of nowhere comes into the conversation. And of course, we all are curious about, hey, who's this fifth person? And what did they see? What was the last thing they saw these guys doing before they left the house? So, real quick, I wanted to share this article with you guys on what the fifth friend is saying. And of course, I got video clips and all that stuff we're going to be looking at as well. And like I said, it's just not mathing. It is not lining up to what Jordan Willis's lawyer has been saying out here in these interviews. But then again, everything that this lawyer has been saying he's not even matching the stories that he's saying in multiple previous interviews as well. He keeps changing the story, right? He keeps moving the goalpost in a way. So let's take a look at this. The fifth friend, okay? Because this up here is, details change again. And I love that everybody else is catching the same doggone thing. Everyone's seeing the same thing. Everyone's seeing the same BS. What the heck is going on here? Right? That the details are not mathing. They're not adding up. They keep changing. And I'm glad everybody else is seeing this too. So details change again. Fifth friend speaks out after 3 men found gone in KC home. Okay. So we already know about all the details. If you haven't seen it, please go back to my other videos, go check them out, please. And thank you. All right. There is a good interview that was done on T-Rev's channel. All right. I give credit where credit is due. Apparently baby mama of Clayton spoke out, and there's some stuff I wanted to talk about that too. So remind me to talk about that a little bit later. Some details that I think could lead us down the side of maybe they took something that was tainted, if you catch my drift. I'm going to get into that in just a second, because this is the reason why I also put Jeopardy in the title. I'll explain all of this in just a little while. But let's get into this article. The fifth friend. Fox 4 spoke with the fifth person who is at the home via phone. At this point, we're not naming him, which we know it's male. We know it's a man. So it's another fella. It's one of the boys. So we know that piece. But I'm really interested in who this guy is. But I'm saying this really quick. I'm not trying to get you guys to go out here and do anything crazy and start stalking people and lurking in the internet streets. Don't do that, okay? Please. When the name gets released, it will get released. But it is I'm very curious about it nonetheless. But he said when he left, the 3 victims and Willis were still awake. He stressed that it's absolutely not true that he was the last person to see the 3 men alive. After asking a few more questions, he directed Fox 4 to his attorney, Andrew Talge. Hopefully I'm saying it right. In an interview, his lawyer said his client arrived at Willis's home around 7 p.m. that Sunday. He said his client was hanging out with the 4 others until about midnight. It's at that point when he left. According to his lawyer, Talge, okay, when his client left Willis's home, the 4 men were watching Jeopardy. Most importantly, he said they were still alive during those early hours Monday morning. Paserno, we all know about Mr. Paserno, and he's the one who's representing Jordan Willis, okay, has said multiple times that the only messages Willis received were from via Facebook Messenger. He didn't receive any text messages or calls. We're going to talk about Facebook here in a little bit. But Talge disputes part of that, saying sometime Tuesday, his client received a text message from Clayton McGinney's fiance and from Ricky Johnson's mother, asking about their loved ones. At that point, the 5th person sent a text message to Willis and to Johnson. He never received a response, the attorney said. So, of course, Fox 4 asked Paserno about this discrepancy, and he declined to comment. What's really interesting to me is this part right here. I mean, there's a lot more to point out. But just talking about the lawyer here, he declines to comment about the fact that, hey, the 5th person said he was texting not only just, he also was texting Jordan. He was also texting Johnson, one of the missing men in this situation. So he's not receiving text messages from the 5th friend, the 5th person that was in the house. Like I said, it doesn't make sense. So no. Let's not forget. He's saying, oh yeah, I was receiving, if I received any messages from anybody, it's from Facebook. There were Facebook messages. Okay, let's talk about Facebook for a second. Now, if you're not friends with somebody on Facebook, yes, it's very, very true that it goes like your DMs, those type of DMs, when you're not friends with somebody, go to a different folder. And sometimes, depending on if you have that notification thing on or not or whatever, how you have your Facebook Messenger set up. That stuff, you may not even see it. I mean, shoot, I have it set up where I don't see it. So I have to physically go into the message requests in my personal Facebook account just so I can see if anyone sent me a message that I may not be friends with. But I do know that there's other things where, you can have it set up where that app will give you a notification of, oh, you have a friend, like a message request. Somebody's trying to reach out to you, whatever it is. But if you don't have it set up, you're not going to know anything. You're not going to hear anything. So if he wasn't, and this is a strong if he is not friends with the extended family, fiance, etc., girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, there is a possibility that he didn't get those things. Okay, sure. That is fine. Okay, we could put that on the table as a possibility. All right, because it's not like it was Ricky or that it was Clayton or if it was David. It's not those three contacting him. And obviously, they're probably friends on Facebook, right? So clearly, he's not getting messages from them. They're in the backyard at the time. No disrespect. I'm just talking logically here, right? So, sure, you can put that on the table, but still, fifth person that's speaking out now is saying, I even text him. I even hit him up and was reaching out to him because I'm going, hey, what's going on? Now, if they're all close and they're all tight, why would he refuse to respond to text messages from one of his boys? So that even confirms that this guy, if the Facebook thing is true and he's not friends with any of those guys, any of those people that were trying to contact him, all right, and that was their only means of contacting him, then sure, that's a possibility. But you still got fifth guy sending out text messages to him directly. So he was receiving stuff for sure. The other thing I want to point out too, all right, is that there are ways that people can get people's phone numbers, especially if there's desperation involved. If you're trying to find out if somebody's missing, if they've been taken, if anything has happened to them, you're going to do everything you can to get your hands on the number to the person that allegedly was the last person to see them alive. So of course you're going to do everything you can to get their phone numbers and start texting, calling, everything, right? So sure, maybe he was receiving text messages from phone numbers he's never seen before. But for a fact he was getting the alerts. For a fact he's opening them up being like 716. What the hell 716? Boop. What is this about? Clayton? And in there, I'm sure it's like, hi, it's Clayton's auntie. He hasn't been home in 2 days. Have you seen him? You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't make any sense. All of this. He's sitting there trying to move the goalposts, move things around. And so even after that, even when the fifth person's lawyer says he was sending him text messages, he was reaching out to Willis, and he was not responding back, Willis's lawyer says, I declined to comment. I ain't got nothing to say. Yet this dude has been out here talking. He's got plenty of time, right? Got plenty of opportunities because he's been out here all up in the videos, all up in these interviews, representing his client and saying all kinds of crazy stuff. In fact, during the Ashley Banfield interview, this mother lover said, sure. No, I'm dead. I'm not trying to be funny. That's literally what he said. He said, sure. To a question that should just be yes or no. Sure. That's what he did. Sure. Meh. What? That's your lawyer? So he said, sure. I'm sorry. Okay. So again, this is all looking so bad for Mr. Willis. What you talking about, Willis? Oh, finally, that works. Hey, what you talking about, Willis? Okay. Deep cut for all you youngins out there. If you don't know different strokes, then I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out. But El said, bro said, sure. Laugh my ass off. I can't. It's true, though. He did. We're gonna play a little bit of it a little bit later on. We got some videos I'm gonna share with you guys. Okay. But again, fifth person saying that they were out there still in the house alive. Most importantly, alive. They were hanging out watching Jeopardy. Okay. Historical facts for 200, please. Now, here's the thing. Let me talk about that really quick. Okay. If you've ever been to a this is I'm just gonna say it. All right. Now there was an interview on T Rev's channel. Go check it out. Okay. Shout out to T Rev. All right. He had a really good interview with one of the victims or one of the men's baby mothers. Okay. And they had it was a really good interview. It was heartbreaking too. There was a lot of information in there that was very interesting. And of course, I've tried to reach out to her, of course, directly as well. Hopefully she responds back. If not, it's all good. I understand there's a lot going on with her and everything that's going around this particular case. But there was something that you said about, and if I'm correct, if I'm correct, I think she's talking specifically about, I don't want one of the guys with her the father of her child. And for some odd reason, I'm forgetting if it's Clayton or if it's one of the other guys. But if I'm correct, I think it is Clayton that she's talking about. Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Put it in the chat. All right. But she did talk about one of them saying that they are working on staying clean. Okay. They talked about working on staying clean. It's Ricky. Thank you. Sorry about that. It's not Clayton. It's Ricky. My apologies, guys. Lo siento. Okay. Thank you so much for the correction. I listened to it earlier yesterday and then, okay. So I grabbed these pieces of information about the cell phones, etc., which I found to be very interesting as well. We're going to talk about those things in a little bit later on in the conversation here. But one of the things I wanted to say, she talks about Ricky working on staying clean. Now, that to me could look down the lane of tainted party favors, that something was laced with something, possibly, right? Now, when I say that, the reason why I say that as well, and this is me just throwing out the speculation real quick, and then we're going into the videos. When the guy, the fifth mysterious guy, packed up and left, I want to remind you, he said that they were chilling, watching Jeopardy. Now, I have to say this. Who out here is watching Jeopardy on a Sunday night at midnight for ish and giggles? Think about it for a second. You got a bunch of fellas together. They just got done watching the game. That game was over about 5.5 hours to 6 hours earlier. They're still hanging out. It's a Sunday night. The Kansas City Chiefs just won. Happy, joy, right? They're still drinking, doing some shots, whatever, but they're watching Jeopardy. To me, I'm thinking maybe they're partaking. Maybe they're rolling a little something up. Maybe they're doing a little something. I'm just saying, like, Jeopardy on a Sunday night, a bunch of fellas, okay, who are, I wouldn't sit here and say, Jeopardy is my go-to show that I watch with my friends after watching the football game. in my thoughts, it's random stuff that's being played on the TV, and they're still having fun. So if you add that piece together, it sounds like they were hanging out. And if it is true with what the fifth friend is saying, if it is true, okay, we got to remember, we got to take what he's saying with a grain of salt as well, because he could be lying too to make him sound clean. But to me, Jeopardy, to me, it sounds like they had Jeopardy in the background and they were doing some other things. They were continuing to party. That's what I think. Ain't nobody watching Jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? Aardvark. No one's doing that. Okay? Duckbill platypus. No one's doing that. Hanging out. No one. Last I checked. Okay? Like, just because, what's that show? What's that show? Chaos Theory or whatever the hell it's called. Okay, just because there was a sitcom called that does not mean that everyone's sitting here chilling, watching Jeopardy for ish and giggles. I'm sorry. Now, I understand that Jordan is a smart fella, so I could see him having that on in the background for his own amusement while he's partaking and having fun and doing shots and stuff. But I don't know. Just interesting. To me, it just sounds like it's background noise. It just happened to be on. It could have been Jerry Springer, for crying out loud. Like roll reruns of Jerry Springer in the background. That could have been it too, right? It could have been Adult Swim. It could have been somebody that I just saw in the corner of my, South Park. It could have been anything, right? But I feel like they were busy drinking and having a great time. If this is true with what this guy, this fifth person is saying. Remember, he could be saying all this to distance himself from the case as much as possible. And I'm going to tell you this too. You got homeboy, the lawyer, Willis's lawyer, making it terrible. And if this fifth person is a culprit or is the one who did something bad, man, he is helping separate him from guilty as much as possible. Okay? So this is interesting. All right. But okay, so I got a couple things I want to share with you guys. And one of them I'm going to have to play just the audio. Because these news stations out here, okay, they just shutting everything down. Especially when it's like a big story like this, they out here like they're searching, right? So I'm gonna have to play it without the video, but I do want to share with you guys this video because it's better to hear it through the video. So let's take a listen. Hold on.
Weeks after 3 bodies were.
This is so crazy. But I mean, as I'm getting this thing set up, what say you guys? Okay. What are your thoughts on this? To me, Jeopardy tells me something else. Jeopardy tells me that they're kicking it. That's what it's telling me. Or this guy is making it up so he can distance himself from the situation as much as possible. Oh yeah, when I left, they were watching Jeopardy. Yeah. Was it with Blossom or was it with the Jeopardy winner guy? I'm just curious. I'd want more details on what they were watching, right? Just to make sure that it's the real deal. But let me play this. Oh, and excuse me. Let me grab this too. Duan, thank you so much for the 2. A lot of these extra men. One of these extra. Why am I saying a lot? One of these extra men is the dealer. That's my assumption. That's what I'm predicting. Or maybe not the dealer, but maybe the dude that was holding. You see what I'm saying? Maybe the dude that actually had the stuff. Interesting. But please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Okay. Let's get those likes up. Okay. Please. Let's get it to 800 likes. All right. A like doesn't cost a thing. There's a gang of you guys in here. And I know a lot of y'all care about this story and are very curious about these mysterious deaths. So please hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please and thank you. Okay, subscribe. Okay, I appreciate it. All right, guys, let's take a listen. I'm gonna pop it up and out. You know what I mean? All right, but let's take a listen.
None of it makes sense.
Weeks after 3 bodies were found in the backyard of a Northland home, there are more inconsistencies tonight. The families now more frustrated and upset than they've been thus far. Welcome to Fox 4 News at 9. I'm Christelle Bell.
And I'm John Holt. It was first on Fox 4 last night. The man who lived at the home has moved out. Plus, the fact that there was a 5th person at that home tonight.
So, again, I want to remind you guys, they did move out. Jordan Willis did move out of that house. And if that's not an admission of guilt, optically at least, I don't know what is. But let's continue.
Only on Fox 4, we're learning more about that night from that man and his lawyer. Fox 4's Malik Jackson, who broke the story, joins us live from police headquarters downtown. Malik, they're flat out disputing the account of what we've heard so far.
John and Christelle, I spoke on the phone with that 5th man, and he said without hesitation he was not the last person to see these 3 men alive. That is a claim that Jordan Willis's attorney made last night, that today he is walking back. The attorney for this 5th man says his client left the home just after midnight, and when he left, all 4 men were still there. They were still awake, and they were watching TV.
One thing I want to say, all right, as well, about this 5th person saying, oh yeah, when I left, they were all live. They were awake. They were kicking it. They were watching Jeopardy, and I kick rocks. I do think it's interesting that this 5th person, and also I'm wondering when this 5th person started speaking out to the police, because I want to remind you, it's all about timing too, baby. Think about it. You have Willis's lawyer out here saying all kinds of crazy stuff. It's an opportunity for the 5th person, okay, this mystery guy, to sit there and go, okay, so he said this, and he said this. Okay, now I can dress up my story the best way I can, so it makes me look like I'm innocent. Now, I know that this lawyer is doing him a favor. Jordan Willis's lawyer is just mucking everything up, right? And he's doing him a huge favor, this 5th person, because everybody's looking right at Jordan and not looking at this 5th person at all. So now this 5th person, all he has to do is say one thing that contradicts what the lawyer is saying, and he looks innocent instantaneously. But one thing we haven't heard anything about yet is, did he drop anything off? Was he there for those few hours doing other things with the guys? What activities were they doing aside from drinking beer and doing some shots and eating some food? You see what I'm saying? So it is interesting about timing with this 5th person, because there was no mention of a 5th person until just recently. So I'm wondering, has he talked to police? Was there conversation with police in the very beginning? Or did he wait all this time to speak out when everyone else's stories came out, and now he's dressing his up to distance himself from this crime or from this mystery? Because, they say that there's no foul play, which is absolute trash.
It's just cover up. Something's wrong with the picture.
Jim McGinney, the uncle of Clayton McGinney, is upset, frustrated, and to this point displeased as the story of what happened on that Sunday night in the Northland gets less clear and more foggy by the day. John Paserno, the attorney for the man who lived at the home, has had an evolving story since Friday. First, he said the 5th person was still there when the 3 men died. He would change his tune in a News Nation interview hours later.
Before he fell asleep, they were going to leave. He actually escorted them to the door, said their goodbyes, opened the door. He went back on the couch and he crashed.
That statement running contrary to what Paserno told us just hours before.
Remember, and I want to make that abundantly clear, Ashley Banfield had that interview after they had Fox 4 had an interview with Paserno. And Paserno said something completely different. And it's funny because the interview, like they're sitting there chilling at a poker's table, for crying out loud. That's where they sat and had this interview. And he said something completely different than what he said with Ashley Banfield. And I'm wondering, why is he out here saying all this stuff? It just doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you waste all that time? Because this is also something where he's sounding like this is the worst calling card for Paserno. No one's going to want to work with, like, hire this guy after this. If everything goes south and this guy gets, charged with something and convicted, no one wants a lawyer like this. I'm telling you right now, no one.
In an exclusive conversation with Fox 4, the fifth man's attorney, Andrew Tauch, tells us his client arrived at the home around 7 p.m. He left just after midnight, and when he left, all three men and Jordan Willis were alive and watching Jeopardy.
That's a long time, by the way. 7 to after midnight. That's many hours that he was hanging out with these guys. So if he was just dropping something off, I doubt it. Unless he was dropping it off and they asked him to stay. That's a possibility too, but that's a lot of hours, y'all.
Says his client then received a text from Clayton McGeeney's fiance and Ricky Johnson's mother on Tuesday inquiring about their whereabouts. At that point, he texted Willis and Johnson. He never got a response. That's another inconsistency. Willis's attorney said his client never received any text, just messages through Facebook. We contacted Paserno about this, and he declined.
Let me just show you this clip here, or this piece right here. Yeah. Prior to being contacted by police, he did not receive any phone calls or text messages from friends or family members of the deceased. 2 people came to his house. However, he did not hear them as he sleeps with earbuds and a loud fan. One of those people, the wife of one of the deceased, tried to reach him via Facebook Messenger. Unfortunately, he did not see this message until after the police. So until after the police actually showed up, and that's when he shows up in his underwear, holding a empty wine glass, saying that they in the back and they froze. Right. So you're telling me that this dude sleeps with earbuds and a loud fan? Earbuds? This is his excuse? Now, earbuds fall out of your head very easily. I gave up on earbuds a long time ago. All right. That's when it comes to just working out. I'm sure a lot of you guys have the earbuds right now. You're using them while you go to the gym. And even if you just do a curl or you just bench press and you kind of you just do a little like this to your face. Those things pop out of your freaking head like that. They're the worst to try to wear while you're trying to sleep. They're going to fall out your head. So you're telling me you sleep with earbuds and you have a loud fan. Fine, that's fine with the loud fan. But why did you hear the cops knock on your door then? You didn't hear everybody else pounding, knocking on your door all hours of the day, any hours of the day. So you're telling me you just take random naps. And conveniently, every single time that people came over to the house, pounding on your door for continuous amounts of time. It wasn't like this went and bang, 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 and then just leave. They were out there for 20, 30 minutes banging on your door, banging on windows, banging on the freaking house itself to get your attention. You're telling me that you just randomly take naps conveniently at that same time that people were over at your house pounding on the door? Like I said, it just, what the come on, earbuds? It's fine. I get it. I know a lot of people that wear like those noise canceling like Bose headphones. I know people that wear those kind of things, or they'll get the ones that go, those squishy spongy earplugs, right? That they stuff in their ears to cancel out all noise. But earbuds? But what? Okay. They say earbuds. Anybody out here sleep with earbuds on in your heads? And I mean, are you listening to something? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you listening to while you're going to sleep? Like, you need all of that? I mean, I get it. Some people are very high maintenance sleepers, right? It needs to be this temperature. You need to be wrapped up like a burrito. You need to have headphones or like those earplugs in your ears. You need a fan. You need a sound machine going on and all that. I get that. Plenty of people do that. And the room has to be pitch black, right? Chilly cold and all that stuff. I get that piece. But are you serious? Earbuds? Airbuds? I ain't never heard that before in my life. That makes no sense. That's like sleeping with socks on. Crazy. What? Man, if your feet cold, you got to put socks on. Okay? That's all I got to say. But it's just so weird. Like, you put on earbuds and you got those on, and I guess I'm wondering, like, what is he listening to? Drowning cats? Like the sound of drowning cats or something like that? Like, what is he listening to that's making him go to sleep? Is it Rockabye Baby on repeat for his 7-8 hours of sleep? Let's see. Darcy said, thank you so much for the 5. I sleep with earbuds listening to music, but I hear people knocking on the door. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way. Even those earbuds are not very noise canceling, right? At least not to me. I still hear everything. See, this is the reason why, like, okay, so this is the other reason why I don't have earbuds, because they don't cancel everything out. When I go to the gym, right? Okay, this is just my only gripe, all right? When I go to the gym, because, I go to one of those big box gyms, that are around everywhere, right? The one thing I hate more than anything in the world is going into the gym. I know I'm about to go and lift, right? Ooh, yeah, get some. You know what I mean? You're about to get after it. You know what I'm saying? And you walk in and Adele is playing in the background. I'm sorry, I don't feel like crying while I'm doing bicep curls. Okay? So when I have earbuds, because I used to have earbuds, right? Because, it was like a status symbol back in the day. For a fact it was back in the day. So you have those earbuds in, but you still hear, hello from the other side. You hear all that stuff in the background as you're trying to lift. You see what I'm saying? Then you're getting all weak and stuff because you're getting sad because you're hearing Adele. Or you got the Taylor Swift going on. No disrespect to T-Swizzles fans out there, but I'm just saying, sometimes you don't want to hear, shake it off. You don't want to hear that. So you put you need something that's going to cancel those things out. So the headphones I got completely drown everyone out. I don't need to hear the outside noise. I want to focus on my lift. I'm working on getting swole, not hearing the music in the background. You see what I'm saying? Okay, I know it's thin ice. I'm not, hey, nothing wrong with y'all. But for me, that's not the kind of music I listen to. You see what I'm saying? When I'm lifting, I need fast, loud, aggressive. That's just what I listen to. Okay. But I can't listen to that while there's other music playing in the background. If I can hear that stuff, it with my ADD, it's crazy. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. So when it comes to earbuds, all right, they don't really cancel out noise. They don't. Okay. Last I checked, they don't really cancel out noise. And I'm wondering what kind he has, because there are other ones that are a little bit more precise, right? But no, I don't listen to metal. No, I don't listen to metal. But it's just, loud, fast, mostly fast. But, just more aggressive rap, hip hop, etc. You know what I'm saying? A lot of DMX. No, I'm kidding. But the DMX is in my mix. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want to hear and have hello from the other side in the background. That's just not me. Maybe for you guys it is, but I can't do that when I'm trying to get my workout on, when I'm trying to get my swole on. Okay. So when it comes to earbuds with this situation, it doesn't make any sense to me. I call cap. I call a full-on lie on this biz naive, because you already got the loud fan too, and you're sleeping alone. Let me remind you, it's not like you have somebody next to you sawing logs and so loud that it shakes the very foundation of your private domicile. It's not that either. You're sleeping alone. Your dogs aren't even in your house. Your dogs are somewhere else being dog sat by your daddy. So it's not like you have your little pups in the room, little pukies snoring behind you going, oh God, Pookie, shut up, trying to sleep. So that part doesn't exist. You're alone sleeping in that house. So what, is the house breathing too hard for you to fall asleep at? That doesn't make sense to me. So earbuds, I call cap. I could see ear plugs, but earbuds, I don't know. That's all I want to say about that. Okay. Because that's just trash, in my personal opinion. Hold on. I got a couple super chats. Let me grab these really quick. Buddy, what's up? Thank you so much for the 5. My nephew sleeps with earpods. Earpods 1. Okay. My sister-in-law sleeps with Bose sleep pods with waves playing. It's a thing. That's interesting. Okay. If it is a thing, I like I said, I apologize. I just never have heard anyone wearing those things. I feel like they would just constantly be falling out of my head, and all night I'd just be trying to put them back in my head all night. But that's just me, But if that's how y'all sleep, that's how y'all sleep. That's some extra stuff. I'm gonna be real. That's extra. Regina, thank you so much for the 2. I slept through a tornado sober. No ear. See, but that you must have had a hard week. To sleep that hard, you must have had a hard week. Okay, a hard week. But I appreciate you guys coming in and you're going to no. This is possible. Hold on, this is possible. Okay, it's interesting. Kimberly, thank you so much for the 500 yen. Again, I appreciate it. I don't know, but if his client keeps feeding him this BS, the lawyer would have to go with it, right? This is also weird. Too many questions. You're right. You right. You right. Yeah. He has to. See, that's the thing though. He has to go with it, but he has the choice of not going on these interviews and representing him publicly in these interviews. He could literally decline taking interviews, get his story and his facts straight, and just do one interview only, giving all the facts, and that's it. But that's not the case here. He went to all these interviews, and I'm sure he's going, this is gonna augment my business. No one's gonna hire you, bro. Not nobody. You done mucked this whole thing up. You're making it worse for your client, and you're making it worse for you too. It's a bad look for you, homie. Buddy, thank you so much for the 2. Bose and Sony buds cancel everything. Yeah, I know the Bose. I didn't know about the Sonys, but Bose really does. That's some intense stuff, man. It's amazing. But you won't see me going to the gym with Bose headphones. Those are too nice. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just got my Beats, my Beats headphones that get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic. Thank you so much for the 2. Soft kitty like Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. Yeah. I'm just saying. It's interesting nonetheless. But okay, sleeping with AirPods or earbuds is a real thing. I didn't know, but I appreciate the pushback. But like I said, that's why I do not like working out at gyms without my own music. I have to cancel it out. So I have headphones that I wear at the gym that drowns everyone out. Also, I'm not in there to socialize either, but that's a whole other conversation in itself. Because for some odd reason, when you go at a specific time and you see the same people over and over again, and suddenly everyone wants to, you know what I mean, wave you down. And you're like, homie, I'm just trying to work out, get this quick 30, 45-minute workout in and get the hell out. I'm not here to talk. Noise canceling, headphones, focus. But as far as bedtime, I ain't never done that. I have TV on sometimes to fall asleep. So I can have something that just kind of turns my brain off. But that's about it. You see what I'm saying? That's about it. Okay. So this is very interesting. Let's continue on. Noise canceling headphones to sleep in. But see, that's the other thing too. Like, what about when you want to roll over? I don't know about you, but I kind of move around a lot in my sleep. I'm always adjusting. But you have these big old things in your head and you roll over to your side. Isn't that going to be really uncomfortable? Having that just pressing in your head. Something to think about.
The comments.
Man up. Man up. And tell us what happened. He knows. He has to know. He's a grown man too. He has to know what happened.
Tausch tells us that his client is upset and sad, and he just wants answers as to what happened to his friends. At last check, KCPD is still waiting on the medical examiner to determine a cause of death.
Of course, we all are still waiting on COD, not Call of Duty, cause of demise. All right. We still don't know how this happened and why this happened, but obviously family members and the sort are coming out and saying like, hey, this sounds like they may have taken something that was tainted, that was laced with something. And that's still a very strong possibility here. Okay. Let me play this clip for you guys as well. Hold on. This is from News Nation. Shout out to News Nation. Okay. I appreciate that. That's this station. All right. But let's take a look at this one as well. And see, I don't know how. See, I just saw somebody say, yeah, Nicole B, you straight up lying. So you sleep like you dead. You don't move at all. But she says, I don't move. My bed stays perfectly made. How do you, what? So you're like an android. Like it just, as soon as you go to sleep, you're offline. Whole body doesn't move. You just sleep like the dead. That's insane. Okay. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. All right. Oh, okay. Sexy Locks, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And apparently it's her first super sticker on a live stream. So thank you so. Hey, we can celebrate that. You did it for me, little old me. Wow. Wow. That says a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Okay. Thank you so much. Again, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Love to get it past 800 likes. Okay. Very simple. All right. Like don't cost a thing. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Please and thank you. Let's take a look at this News Nation one, which I can show you guys how convenient. This is why I love News Nation so much. Okay. They allow these things. Okay. They understand that sharing is caring. Let's look at this. And it's them saying the same things basically, but I wanted you guys to see some more moving pictures. So let's just play it.
More than 2 weeks after 3 friends were found dead outside of a Kansas City home following a Chiefs viewing party, an attorney involved is now changing his story once again. This has been a back and forth here. The tenant's lawyer saying another friend, a 5th person, was still there after his client had gone to sleep. But the other friend telling our News Nation affiliate in an exclusive interview that he wasn't the last person to see the 3 men alive. And when he left, the tenant, Jordan Willis, was still awake. Correspondent Elizabeth Pran has been following this one, all the details. Elizabeth, what are we supposed to make of all these changing stories? What's to believe?
I know, Marquis, there is a lot. Like you said, our affiliate Fox 4 has been on this story. As you mentioned, it's been 2 weeks, multiple storylines, and now we're getting it from 2 attorneys. So that 5th man is represented by an attorney named Andrew Talsh, and he is speaking to our affiliate. And he says his client arrived at 7 p.m. and left at midnight that night, and that all of the men were watching Jeopardy at the time. So the 3 men, including Jordan Willis, who was renting the home, the 3 men are Ricky Johnson, Clayton McGinney, and David Harrington. So what we're also learning is that their families were sending desperate texts on that Monday afterwards, the days following, to both men. This, again, is inconsistent because Willis's attorney, his name is John Paserno, told us that there was only communication via Facebook. So we've gotten multiple storylines from John Paserno, including one that he gave our own Aunt Ashley Banfield, essentially telling Banfield that the men walked out, that he saw them walk out. But he told local media this.
As people do, they get tired. They're people who are very close to you, and then you feel comfortable going to bed and allowing them to leave whenever they want to leave.
Okay. Oh, and notice the poker table. That indeed is a poker table. They could have had this interview anywhere else, but he decided, let's have this interview right here on this poker table. It's just a very interesting decision to make. Kitchen table. They could have done it in a living room, but no, let's use the poker table. I think that'd be a good look. He got a gold chain hanging on the doorknob of his crib. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Sorry. All right. This is his office, from my understanding. Okay. But he says, which is very true. We talked about this before. He said, oh, when you have friends that you're comfortable with, if you're tired, you go to sleep and they can just, hang out, do whatever they need to do, walk in and out of the house. That's what he says in that interview. But then before, like they said a second ago, he's saying that he walked them into the door, or at least saw them leave the house, and he saluted them and said goodbye. They all left and everything was good. But then this guy is now saying it on this interview, something completely different. I don't understand why he's got this whole thing mixed up, and that's what's so messed up about it. Why does he have this whole story messed up? First thing in Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Your first job as a lawyer is to get the story and the facts straight, and knowing that by rote, backwards and forwards, upside down, slow and fast. He keeps on changing this. This is ridiculous. Why is this guy representing Jordan Willis? Again, what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? All right. Let us continue.
What police do tell us is that there were no signs of foul play at the scene and that Willis is cooperating with attorneys. But now, Marquis, we are just simply waiting on the toxicology and the medical examiner report.
Yeah, obviously none of us know what to make of this. There's still a lot to figure out, but you would think the attorney might stop talking until there was one story that he had it boiled down to.
Bingo, bango.
We'll see what the next one has in store. Elizabeth Pran, thanks so much.
You know what's also very sad about this? Given the fact that they're saying that there's no crime committed, that they don't suspect any foul play, and that there's still just investigating, the police are still investigating. Jordan Willis has already packed up his stuff and he's already kicked rocks. So he's left that house. So if they wanted to go and do another search, go through the house, get any evidence, etc., they can't even do that. Why? Because he already picked up his stuff and he's already kicked rocks. He gone. So anything that he's done that could possibly link him to a possible crime either has already been packed up or has been thrown away. Let's not forget, any other evidence of foul play could be destroyed, could have been destroyed. During those 2 days that the people were knocking on his door and trying to get in touch with him, all the way to the moment where he moved. He's had plenty of time, even still to this day, right now, as we speak, he still has time to destroy evidence, countless pieces of evidence showing proof positive that foul play was involved in the demise of these three men. That's what's so sad about this too. So you can sit here and give me all the excuses under the sun, because to me, this is him going, it was the wind. It was the wind. That's what it is to me. Oh yeah, it was this, and then it was this, and then noise canceling headphones, and I had the a loud fan on and all that stuff. Where's the loud fan then? Because you got to remember, you were sleeping on the couch, and I know you know it's over 2 days. You can go and sleep anywhere else. You're telling me you were sleeping all day? I understand that he's at least the lawyer now. His lawyer now is saying that he works from home, so he might have a very chill schedule. But he not once ever walked out his house. He stayed home for 48 hours without ever stepping out the house. I at least leave my house at least once a day. At least. Not once? That's odd. That is very odd. Hold on real quick. Sexy Locks, thank you so much for the 2. Do you know if the cam in the backyard works? Now, from what I understand, there is no cam in the backyard. Because we saw the photo. In fact, I'm going to pull it up here again. But in the photo, there isn't a camera. It looks like it's just a motion detector. Let me show it to you guys. It's just a motion detector and floodlights. Right here. That is a motion detector, and these are floodlights for the backyard. Now, the only other thing I can think of is like, what could that be right there? But that could be a wasp's nest. I don't know. That could be anything. That could be nothing. And that could be something too. But this is just one of the photos of the backyard. Right? And that's the other thing. And that's the other thing, Nicole. That's what I'd like to know too. What scientist works from home? What scientist works from home? The only other thought I can think of is that maybe he was let go from his job and he's in between jobs. I don't know, And obviously what he's doing, the job that he's doing, is a very important job. At least from what he was reported about, or what he was interviewed about 2 years ago, about his work on this HIV vaccine. But I don't know. It's still very, very strange. Regina, thank you so much for the 2. What if fifth guy, Alex, sold them the party favors, then left? Now I don't know his name. Now I know a lot of people are dropping a name in the chat, and if it is Alex, I don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and say his name without factual evidence of that guy's name being that guy's name. Does that make sense? But I guess when that person does get revealed, if his name does become public, I think that people are going to start talking. The streets are going to talk, just like they're talking about Jordan already. Jordan is already, people are already sitting here saying, hey, he's a weird dude. He's a weird dude. Now, I feel like that's going to be the same thing when they talk about who this fifth person is. As soon as the name gets dropped and becomes public, that's when everybody and their mom is going to go, oh, here it is. Oh, he's known to do this. Yeah, he is the one who's holding a lot. Or no, he's a Boy Scout. Sure, he has some drinks, but he doesn't partake like that. He doesn't kick it like that. That's a possibility. But we are hearing from stories of family members, right? People who are connected personally to these 3 men, talking about one in particular, saying he was working on staying clean. Now, when I hear working on staying clean, it does dress up another possibility. It doesn't mean that it's solidified. It doesn't mean that it is the possibility, but it does opens up another lane of possibilities that, hey, maybe they took something and it affected them all. You also got to remember too, tolerance as well. Physically, let's not forget physically, like tolerance, right? If there was party drugs, party favors used in this situation, there's a good possibility that, the level of tolerance in each person's body varies, right? Even the biggest, burliest of guys can say that's too much in comparison to the littlest guy who can do a whole lot more, right? So maybe they did something, they were partaking in something, and it just affected them all differently. And then, of course, they perished. But they all perished in different times. That could be it. But I know that family members are believing that that these guys were drugged. In fact, let me see if I can find that as well. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on, guys. I can't find it right now. Damn. But family members, of course, as we've talked about in the past few shows, they have talked about this and they have said out loud that they feel like this was a situation where they were drugged. And again, I mean, the toxicology report couldn't come out fast enough with this situation, with this story. Really, you couldn't. The reports couldn't come out fast enough because we are all wondering what the hell's going on. Yeah, Mimi, it's going to be weeks till we actually find out some truths behind this situation. It's just sad, y'all. It's just really, really sad. It's frustrating because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they was on the porch when the backyard is huge. Now, one though, sandwich, one was on the patio. Two were found in the back porch. Or I mean, two were found in the backyard. Sorry. Actually, I'm gonna pull up that listing again one more time. And Francis, thank you so much for the $6 Cash App. I really do appreciate it. Love your show. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Hold on, guys. Let me pull up his apartment listing one more again, because I think we should take a look at that one more time. This is where he was at. Now, people are saying that he was being evicted. Some people are saying he was getting evicted, and that's why he moved out. I find that interesting. Why would he get evicted that quickly? That's interesting. Because it's only been a couple weeks since they found these three men in the backyard. So I don't get why he would just get evicted. So I don't know if he got evicted. I think he just packed up and he kicked rocks. And again, we've talked about this before, but I understand. In the perspective of someone who's just seen something so tragic, I wouldn't want to be in that house either. I'd want to get out. But optically, this is the worst idea that you can do. In fact, if it was an eviction situation, I would have turned to my landlord and said, hey, I need a little bit more time because this is going to be a bad look if I move. I would have said that. Hey, I understand that you want me out of here because you think it's bad, bad look for your property and all that stuff. And nah. But real talk, if I move right now, it will be detrimental to how I look in the court of public opinion. And I can't move optically right now. That's what I would say. You know what I mean? I'd at least try to work out a deal or something. Okay. But I don't know. It's interesting. Let's take a look at this one more again. All right. So 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. All right. Almost 3,000 square feet. Again, this is a really nice place. This is a really spacious 4-bedroom home. Is ready for you to spread out and enjoy. Lovely kitchen, open to living area and breakfast nook / windowed office. Bedrooms are spacious. Yard is fenced and flat. We're going to take a look at the yard here in a second. Small Rubbermaid shed in the backyard. Nice neighborhood, plenty of storage too, and a partridge. Okay, moving on. We use our own screening service. Okay, tenant pay utilities and trash. Small pets are allowed. And I'm sure with this tenant or with this landlord, I'm sure that they would have been like, yo, you can have the 2 big dogs. You just have to spend a little bit more money on the deposit, but you good. Late rent will be reported to credit reports. Okay. So it got all the trimmings: dishwasher, air conditioning, washer, dryer, hookup, fireplace, breakfast nook, obviously a kitchen, office, and yard. So it's a really nice spot, y'all. This place is redunculous. Look how spacious this ish is. So this must be the front door. Hold on. So this is the house. Here's the front door of the house, right? Say what? Sorry, I just saw a super chat. What? Yep. Vic said, you trying to sell us this house, Pascal? No. No, Vic. But I'm just saying this house is nice. Okay, so he making monies. This is a nice house, y'all. All right. I should try to sell this house. No, I'm kidding. Perfect for you and your small little family, the great starter home. Look, lavish. Look at this lavish layout, But anyway, let me get these super chats really quick. California Girl, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Misty, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. S Dubs, the 5th guy said his 2 dogs were at at the house? Where? Okay, S-Dubs, where did you get can you send that to me? Is there a reporting of that, or is that said in some interview that I can't play on here? But if you have that info, can you please send it? Please send it to me, like right now, because I know me, and I don't know about you guys, but I really want to see that for myself. Okay. And from my understanding, somebody just asked, what's the rent? Well, if you're interested, I think it's like $1,400 a month, if I'm correct. Okay. But I wanted to share with you guys just the layout of the house so you can kind of get an idea of what was being seen here. Okay. So if I'm correct, that's very interesting. So this is the front of the house, right? This is the front door. It looks like. So there's a stairwell right here. There's the fireplace. This is the living area is huge. But you can see, like, you walk in, like this is you walking into the front door, or walking into the through the front door. So the kitchen's straight ahead. You got this over here. Okay. You got a living space, maybe like a kitchen or like a dining room area over here. You got this spot right here over, like, before you go into that kitchen or that like dining room area. It could also be an extended dining room type thing. Like, that's interesting, right? Now, I will say this, because this is pretty wild. Now that we actually are looking at the layout, right? This is that the kind of like that living room space, or like that's kind of like adjacent to the kitchen, right? See, same spot again, right here, right? That's a big spot. Then there's this kind of like the small room that goes out to the, okay. So take a look at this, guys, because this is kind of like, you got the kitchen, and then where the camera is taking the photo at, it's like this is the spot where you'd put the dinner table at, right? Well, that's what I would assume. That's what I would do. It's the closest to the kitchen, right? So you got the dining room area, the place, or, like a breakfast nook or whatever you want to call it, would be that spot, right? But notice those big ass the sliding glass door and the windows. Those are massive. How did you not see that? How did you not, like, open those blinds, if because clearly there's blinds, and not see somebody just on the patio? Because remember, the patio, again, whoops, wrong thing. The patio, look at that. So now we're seeing the inside of this sliding glass door. And this is massive. Massively huge. And you're telling me you didn't see a guy in that area? You really didn't see nobody? I'm just saying. You didn't see some guy? I know these photos are really small, but look. That's a massive window. You telling me you didn't see nothing? Moving on. Kitchen, dope kitchen. Okay. Then you got another room, which was probably where he was chilling at, sleeping This is probably where he had his gaming thing, maybe. Okay. This is also past the stairwell, right? You go straight through the front door. To the right is that stairwell, right? That goes up to the second floor. And then you go, you can either go right, go up the stairs, or go past those stairs and go into this room. My assumption is that he had his video games, they were watching Jeopardy in this particular room right here. That's just my assumption, right? He's kicking it in there. There's a door right here. And if I'm correct, that leads to the outdoors. This is all for the backyard. And then, of course, this is, I'm assuming, on the second floor. Yeah. This place is nice. He got the hookup, yo. Damn. But he got the hookup, though. This is a nice house. Unfinished basement, but that doesn't allude to anything about the crime that I think was committed. Okay. But again, this is looking from the fireplace towards the kitchen. Okay. Again, bang, fireplace. He probably had the TV up above here. This is the spot. This is the cozy little family room, living room spot where everything went down. They were watching Jeopardy. Homeboy left. So then when he said, oh yeah, he saw me, he said goodbye, and they left, and he crashed on the couch, I'm thinking that he was in the couch in this room. Okay, that's just my assumption. All right. That's just my assumption. But still, if they wanted to go outside, they still had to go through this very door. And yeah, little Patty, this house has massive windows throughout the entire house. This is like I said, this is a kick-ass house. I like windows, though. I like sunlight. I know a lot of people like, some people like darkness. Like some of y'all like wearing earbuds whilst you go to sleep. No judgment here. No judgment. But still, everybody's particular, right? I like windows. I like sunlight. I like to see the outdoors. I like to know when the sun is up and when the sun is down. Okay. I don't like a whole lot of, light canceling, what's those pitch black curtains and stuff like that. I hate that stuff unless I'm trying to watch a movie, right? And or just trying to sleep, take a nap or something like that. But other than that, I like seeing the sun, right? So with this house, massive, okay? Light canceling. I know. Blackout. I meant blackout, Nicole. All right. Cut me some slack, man. Okay. But yes. Yeah. Blackout curtains. Okay. Light canceling. Hashtag light cancel light. So anyway, I like natural light. I like seeing nature and all that. Okay. But as you see, there is a possibility that the guys went back in and they used the sliding glass door instead of using the living room, that living room door that we just saw a second ago. There's a possibility of that, but you're telling me he's not gonna hear them opening the front door and coming into the house? Did he have the loud fan on him on full blast when he passed out on the couch? Was he wearing his AirPods while he was asleep in the room? You know what I'm saying? Like while he's in this living room, while these guys are trying to come into this room or come into the house and go into the backyard. Like I said, it's just not mathing to me, guys. It's just not. Okay. No. Okay. No. Cancel windows. Right, Ner. So that, just light proof. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Damn it. Okay, light canceling, noise canceling. You understand what I'm saying. All right. If English was my second language and I said light canceling, y'all would be a lot nicer to me right now. You'd be like, okay, yeah, he meant blackout. He meant blackout windows, blackout curtains. Yes. But no, because I speak this American, y'all coming after me. Okay. I see how it is. All right. I see how it is. But anyway, Misty, thank you so much for the 5. You see the Facebook post about Jordan's sister posted about 3 dead birds on her porch a week before this happened at her brother's house. Weird timing. No, I did not see that. So that's news. And the other thing too is I have yet to see. I figured that there would be a y'all messing me up with, but oh my god, I have yet to hear anything about a Facebook group. I figured that there would have been a Facebook group about this case, discussion, you know what I mean, page about this. I have yet to see anything like that either. But I know everybody's been doing their investigation, their due diligence, speaking, you know, like speaking about this and diving into this as much as they can on their own. But I have yet to see. I have yet to see like a group chat, you know, about this, which is very, very interesting. There was something that S Dub said. I want to pull that up really quick. I saw it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, True Crime Investigator. I'm going to read that one here in a second too. That's very fascinating information as well, or at least theory wise, is very interesting. Let's see. This is S Dubs. Thank you so much. I found it. I had to scroll through and try to find it, but I think it was a family interview I saw on T-Rev. Okay. I cannot find it in a news article. I will keep looking. I appreciate it because, like I said, if there's more information, right? If there's been names dropped and more information about that, then that would be great. But like I said, you know, I'm trying to be respectful of the person's name, and then I also heard somebody say that his name has been, the 5th person's name has been dropped. But hold on, let me just check that real quick. Let me see. And yeah, I haven't seen anything at all with names being dropped. No, I haven't seen anything about any names being dropped of, you know, revealing the 5th person's name. But again, when that name does come out, you know for a fact there's going to be a slew of people coming out talking. Trust and believe. Everybody and their mom are going to be talking about that. Now, True Crime Investigator said something I thought that was interesting, and I need to find it again. Hold on. Where did it go? Where did it go? Something about the fiance going into the house, you know, breaking into the house and found the remains, one of the men's remains before. Here it is. True Crime Investigator, thank you so much for the comment. The fiance apparently found the body before they found the home renter. So that tells me they could see out the window. Therefore, the home renter seen out also and knew the body was there. Yo. And that's a detail that I think is very important to know. If the fiance actually stepped foot outside of the house or outside of the back door, there's a good possibility that she just walked in, was looking around, looked out the window that was already open, maybe blinds were open or something like that, and there's the body. That could be it too. Or it could be something where it's like you couldn't even miss it. It's right there. There's no way you can miss that. It's right there. That'll be very interesting as well. Right? But That is a nice house. It is a nice house. I agree. But that house is interesting how it's laid out. It is interesting. It does block. If you're in that fireplace room, the front door, you can't see the front door from, being opened and closed from that area. So there is, blockage from being able to see that door. So there's a possibility that he was chilling there, asleep, passed out, maybe didn't hear them coming in. That is a possibility, But again, the reason why everyone's looking at this, side-eyeing this Mr. Willis, is because his story keeps changing. Okay? Wait. Dawn just said I sent an article about the dogs were there. Okay, let me look for that. But I'm telling you, what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? Real talk. I don't think I got it. Dawn, where did you send it? You sent it, but where did you send it? Did you email it to me or no? Yeah, resend it if you can, because I haven't received anything as of yet. I'm looking. Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, I haven't received anything. But yeah, send it my way. Please and thank you. But that's interesting. It's so weird, though, if you really think about it. If the dogs actually were there, that also, again, contradicts what the lawyer just said. Oh, the dogs were over at his dad's house. The dad was dog sitting. Dogs weren't even there at all. So if they were there, that extremely contradicts every piece of information. Now we just look at the lawyer and say, okay, you're lying. We can't trust anything that you say. If that is true, okay? If that is true. But if anyone had, okay, here we go. Towards the bottom of the article says the dogs were present. Let me see. Wow. This is the craziness. And this was published yesterday. Let me share this with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. This is weird though, man. Okay. So, family, okay, they think that he was, and this is actually the article I was looking for. It's funny. I was actually trying to find this actual article, but I didn't see the end part. Oh no. See, this is, I gotta join this crap. I don't want to join this crap, but okay. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm sorry. They got me doing some BS. Okay. Okay, I got it now. All right, let's pull this back up. This is interesting.
Introducing Verizon's new Business Unlimited 5G plans, built to give you even.
I don't need any service provider. Thank you, though. Near the end, it says this that they're talking about the dogs. This was also, by the way, this was published yesterday afternoon. So this is important now. All right. Let's see. Okay. The last contact the men made with their loved ones was on January 7th when they joined a group at the Northwest 83rd Terrace home of their friend Jordan Willis to watch the Kansas City Chiefs play the Los Angeles Chargers. According to the victims' families, Willis met officers at the door in boxers with an empty wine glass in hand. His attorney, John Paserno, told Fox News Digital it contained water. That's so weird. And had been refilled after holding wine the night before. Okay. Paserno, said his client allowed police to search his home without a warrant. Without a warrant or an attorney present. All right. So an attorney representing Johnson's family said police carried out a second, more thorough investigation 2 days later. In the 48 hours prior, the family said Willis ignored repeated emails. Let's not forget emails. They even emailed this dude. Facebook messages, texts, phone calls, and knocks at his door. Willis's attorney said he went to sleep on the night of January 7th with Johnson, McGinney, and Harrington, and a fourth man still awake inside. Willis has since moved out of his rental home in fear of retaliation. He moved out in fear of retaliation, not because there's no talks of eviction or anything of that sort. All right. He moved out in fear of retaliation after a fury of media attention about his friends' deaths, according to Paserno. He has also taken a leave of absence from his job as a data scientist at IAVI, a nonprofit that develops vaccines for infectious diseases. There's no allegation of any animosity between Jordan and his three friends, Paserno said. People want to speculate, but it's not like anyone ever called the police saying, we're afraid of this Jordan guy. Still doesn't matter. He could be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Paserno said two of the three men had been friends with Willis since high school, and the third was a close friend for about 4 years. They went to watch the Chiefs game together. Jordan had bought 4 tickets for the Chiefs game for the following Sunday so that they could go together. Okay, I understand that people are hurting, but that's no excuse to throw baseless accusations at Jordan. The number one thing that people need to remember from our point of view is that these were his 3 buddies. If they were in danger, he would have helped them. I don't know about all that. If he knew that we're out there, he would have called police himself. Anything beyond that is pure speculation. But Norma Chester, Johnson's mother suspects that Willis played an active role in her son's demise. Seriously, these were responsible men. How do you go in a backyard and freeze to death? All 3 of them. Something that comes to mind. This guy wants to brag about how smart he is. He's a scientist. My thoughts are that he concocted something and gave it to all 3 men. I know I'm just thinking, but how could this have happened? Johnson, a father of 3, never showed up to work at his father's construction company that Monday. At that time, Ricky Johnson Sr. told Fox News Digital his family worked to find the address where his son watched the game. Like I said, they were going to do everything they could by any means necessary to find out what actually happened, where their son was, so that they can go and contact that guy. Like I said, if you didn't have his number, you're going to find somebody who has his number. Like I was saying before, you could do anything you put your mind to. Long story short, right? Meanwhile, especially when you're trying to find out what happened to your own flesh and blood. Meanwhile, Johnson's family and friends on social media said one of the men's fiancés had broken into Willis's house after repeated attempts to reach him and answered knocks at his door. There, she found one of the men's bodies and called the police. Johnson's father said a police presence had already amassed when he and the family members pulled up to Willis's house on January 9th. They told us to wait for 4 hours and they would tell us what they found. That's what Johnson Sr. said on Tuesday. We waited all night and they never called. We called them the next day and they still wouldn't give us any information. So I called an attorney. I would too. Damn right, I would too. He may have done some drugs and stuff in the past, but I do not believe all three of them did drugs and fell over dead in the backyard. I'm not going to say that during a game he didn't have some drinks, but he wasn't irresponsible. He wasn't irresponsible that he was going to go outside and freeze to death. I think that's kind of crazy too. You're talking about 3 grown men. If he was out there just freezing like that, he could have kicked out the window and gone into the house, the father said. I would have done everything I could too. I believe he drugged them, dragged them outside, and waited 2 days to call the police. That's ridiculous, Paserno said about the accusations, about him possibly drugging the men. He's a scientist and somehow he's to blame. That's an opinion not based on fact. And the funny thing is the only pushback I say to the lawyer is you putting out information that's not based on facts either. You're just saying things like, sure, that's what happened. Sure. Yeah. You're the one who keeps on changing the story. Seriously. So who are you to say anything? You putting out some crazy pieces of information that apparently now, they have no merit. So the bereaved father said he was one of the several concerned friends and relatives who called Willis on the men's behalf before he arrived at the house. But Willis's attorney denied that claim in an interview with Fox News Digital. We're going to go through, we already know about all the BS. Okay. Now, friends of the 3 men and Johnson Sr.'s attorney wonder how Willis could have avoided going outside for 2 days. Paserno attributes the fact that he worked from home. So Johnson Sr.'s lawyer said 3 other guests were at his house at the night of the Chiefs game. They said their hosts, 2 dogs, were present. So the lawyer is saying, so Johnson Sr.'s lawyer is saying that the dogs were present at this watch party. Okay. If you have a dog and there's 3 deceased people in the house, they would alert you to the bodies. So that's interesting. This lawyer also said that Paserno's retelling of events to the press has changed over the course of several interviews, which we already know. Okay. And there was a 5th person in the house when the homeowner went to sleep that night. Initially, he was by himself. Now there was a 5th magical person who was at the house. The fact that the story has changed significantly makes it seem unbelievable and not trustworthy whatsoever. In addition to Mr. Willis's leaving the residence and hiring a criminal defense lawyer, those are all signs of someone hiding something. Willis has not been charged with any crime or accused of any wrongdoing. All right. And of course, this is 100% not being investigated as a homicide, which I find to be very interesting. But nonetheless, this part that is very interesting is that they're saying, according to Johnson Sr.'s lawyer, that the 2 dogs, his pride and joys, Willis's lovely little dogs, were present in the house. See, this is the problem. This is a very big problem because the lawyer's saying one thing. Oh, the dogs were somewhere else. They're being watched by somebody else. In fact, I'm going to pull that up for just so you guys know that I ain't lying. Okay? So we have receipts because this is just trash in my personal opinion.
Bizarre story out of Kansas City. 3 guys.
The prosecutor this morning, as a matter of fact, the toxicology reports are due in a couple of weeks, and we can all speculate as to how the game. He did no knowledge.
One of the claims from the families that they were trying to contact him,
but he was home sporadically. I know another allegation.
Remember, he was home sporadically in this interview, and then the one that we saw last night, he was home all day. He was home the entire time. He never left the house. Yeah, all that BS. How did he get the U-Haul truck? You see what I'm saying?
I've seen floating out there is that he would have had to put the dogs out.
Here it is.
That the dogs would have went in the backyard, and that's untrue as well. The dogs stay at his dad's house, which his dad lives in a different location, and that's where the dogs were.
Okay, so the dogs, okay. So we're hearing from another lawyer, from Ricky Johnson's father's lawyer, saying that the host did have his dogs there. So the dogs were present at the house. But now the dogs, according to the lawyer, is saying now they're saying that the dogs, according to Willis's lawyer, they were being dog sat by Willis's papa at the time of this party, or this little get together that he had in his crib. Dogs weren't there at all. But this lawyer is saying dogs were there. See, now the thing is regardless if the dogs were there or not, I know how some people will be looking at this and going, well, who cares if the dogs were there or not? Actually, it's really important. That piece of information is very important because it's showing, again, inconsistencies to the story, to the narrative, to the timeline. If you're saying that the dogs weren't there and that they were being dog sat by Willis's papa, how are they at the house then? Why are they there? It's the same thing when he says, yeah, he passed out and the guys were just in the house. Then all of a sudden it changes to he escorted them to the door and said, arrivederci. And then now he says, no, they came back in and they did all this stuff. Like I'm saying, it's important. Like I said, a lot of you guys will be like, who cares about the dogs? Who cares about that detail about the dogs? No, it shows inconsistencies. It shows that someone is lying. And here's the other thing too. Let's talk about this lawyer. Let's talk about Paserno again. Let's talk about it. This lawyer could literally just be getting the information that he's getting from Jordan and just taking it at face value. Okay, now it's you escorted them to the door, and then you went back to the couch and passed out. Oh, now it's you did this, or no, now you say the dogs weren't there when they say allegedly the dogs were there. He could just be getting information from the source, but even how he's delivering it is all over the place. Like I said, he needs to know his stuff backwards and forwards, but I feel no disrespect here, Mr. Paserno, but it does feel like you saw this as an opportunity to get your name out here and get your business out here, and you're more focused on getting your face on these interviews rather than getting the facts straight. That's just how I feel about it. And again, I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on TV. All right. But I feel that everyone that's looking at these interviews are seeing at face value that you don't have your story correct and you're making it worse for your client. Instead of being more concerned about getting all up in the interviews and get your name out here. Oh, it's News Nation. I'm about to be a star. The next Johnny Cochran. Okay? Sans melanin. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine. We all want to get our businesses out here. But at the same time, get your ish right, because you're screwing the pooch by constantly moving the goalpost. It's not helping. And now I don't know what's the truth and what's not. And I'm sure you guys are feeling the same way too. Because again, we're getting reports of dogs were actually there. I just played that clip for you guys. In fact, I might put this all together. I might do a little like quick bang, bang, bang of like the interviews and the inconsistencies, because it's insane, right? But now we're hearing that the two dogs, his dogs, his little pookies, were actually at the house when the fellas were there too. And then, of course, out of nowhere from downtown, there's a fifth person that showed up too. And now that fifth person is like, no, I saw them alive and awake as I was leaving the crib. And they were watching Jeopardy. Huh. Interesting. Now, okay. Now, I did say I was going to tap in on the tap in the conversation about the interview that was done by Ricky's baby mama. I know some people don't like that phrase, but F it. All right, that's the best way I could say it. The mother of his child. All right. So allegedly in the interview, she was saying that cell phones, and of course, I don't want to misquote. Like I said, because I'm not going to play the interview because it's not mine. And I want to be respectful of the content creator. All right. So I recommend going over to T-Revs and taking a listen to the interview. But she did say something about the possession of the cell phones and that the cell phones were in Jordan's possession, that the phones weren't wet. They weren't on their person. Each and individual persons outside in the snow. The phones were actually in his possession. Now, this is all just being said by a loved one. We have yet to hear any reports from the news, from 5-0, from police, or anything of that sort. We don't have that information yet. So we're only, right now, that is just hearsay. I hate to say it like that, okay? And I would say the same thing when it comes to the interview. If I was to interview her or any other person that's involved in this tragedy as well, in this mysterious tragedy. But we got to remember, this has not been written out on paper by police. No legal documents have been exposed or put out here saying, oh, such and such was such and such. Phones were found, wallets were found inside the house, blah, blah, blah. None of those things are being said. Now, this is the thing, though. If cell phones were inside the house, okay? If they were found inside the house, that's really bad. I mean, it's cut and dry as we can make it. That's really bad for Jordan. If wallets were inside the house, if personal possessions were inside the house at all, then why wouldn't he? Again, it would be like, okay, the fellas left their phones in here. That's weird. Let's just say this is random. They just leave their phones out there inside the house as they're going outside to smoke a cigarette, whatever, right? Let's just say that. You wake up the next day, you see the cell phones on the table or wherever they are, and you're going, wait a second, whose phone is this? That's Ricky's phone. What the hell? Where's Ricky at? What happened? Wouldn't you be doing that? I'd be doing that. Wouldn't you? Last I checked, hail to the F, yeah, I would be doing that. Why would you just take the phones and just hold on to them? To me, I feel like something sinister was going down. If that is 110% true, I'm not saying that what the baby mama said is not real, but we have to take it. We have to take that information with a grain of salt. We have to take that gently, because this is how misinformation goes flying out the gates. And we've already had enough misinformation, right? Contradicting pieces of information. The dogs were there. The dogs weren't there. He was awake. He was passed out. He saw them leave. He escorted them out the door. So many pieces of information that's out here that has just been bad, right? And does not equate. Math ain't mathin'. So we have to take that with a grain of salt. Okay. But again, I know there's a lot more that was said in that interview, and again, it's very, very sad. And I know that there was other conversations of like deeper connections, you know, between his daughter and Ricky and all that, which is of course very, very heartbreaking to hear. You know how apparently her daughter was saying, "Daddy's cold," and this is before they found Ricky in the backyard, gone. I mean, it's a lot of things that were just kind of, you know, heartbreaking conversations, right? But still, no matter what, this is the reason why I totally understand how the rest of the world is reacting to this in such a visceral way. We're all asking the same questions. We're all sitting here going, wait a second. This is not making any sense. And then you have the lawyer coming out here and not setting the record straight. He's making it worse. Oh, I hope we figure something out, or we have somebody who can actually give us a full breakdown of what's going on. If there are ring cameras, I mean, this is when I asked the neighbors. If anybody who's watching this that lives in that neighborhood, you don't have to make your presence known. But I'm just saying, if you know of anything, if you have a ring camera that points in that direction, please send it to law enforcement. Please put it out on the internet so that we could see what's going on here. Because why would they leave the house without their cell phones and their personal belongings? Why? And again, it could be just as simple as them taking something that was tainted and their bodies reacting in a devastating way. That could be it. But the fact that he didn't do anything about it, didn't even ask questions, is very weird to me. Unless, I'm going to say this too, unless he was on a bender himself. He works from home. All he has to do is log in and probably log in and make his presence known. He can still do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? If he's going to be drinking a little bit or snorting a little bit or smoking a little bit, he can still do all that stuff whilst working. You see what I'm saying? So maybe he was in a bender himself. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it seems like there's clearly something else. And maybe, just maybe, he was so high and on this bender that he didn't even know what was going on outside. Or he knew exactly what was going on outside, but he was so devastated and the anxiety was so real that he goes into a bender. You know what I'm saying? He drinks and smokes and does whatever he can to the point where he's incapacitated, okay? Into a coma almost. I know. So Sophia's like, no, don't give them ideas. But shoot, we have to exercise every possibility here, right? Again, he could maybe not have any hand in this situation. He could be completely innocent when it comes to the demise of his friends. But it seems like something deeper is going on here. And anything's possible. I don't know. It's frustrating. Wohal, thank you so much for the 5. We're the Wallace in the house. That's one piece I don't know about. That's one piece of information I don't know about. I know that the cell phones allegedly from the baby mama, they're saying that the cell phones were in Jordan's possession. They were dry, not wet. They were in his possession. And of course, there's speculation like he was planning on doing something, like he was going to go and destroy the stuff or something. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, it's so odd. Now, I won't be doing a poll because I'm going to be wrapping up the show here in just a second. But yeah, it's again. Brittany said, I lost my father to some shady ish and nothing was done about it. So I really feel for everyone who lost them. My heart breaks, especially the daughter saying daddy cold, or her daddy cold, sorry, brings tears to my eyes. Yeah, I mean, it is really sad. The whole thing is, it's devastating. You know, it's devastating. And of course, any person that's out here that is connected to the case and all that, I've been wanting to, you know, get somebody on the show to talk about this so we can just get some more clarity on the show. So if you guys know of anybody, or if anybody who is watching this that feels moved, that wants to talk about this, please contact me. It'd be great to have you on and just hear your thoughts on everything. But there is a lot that I'm still kind of curious about. But it does seem to me like this was a bunch of guys getting together, partying, and then obviously they took something that was bad. And was it given to them by Jordan or no? I don't know. But we're going to have to figure that out when we get more information or when there's more interviews. But I will say this, Pacerno, stop doing interviews. Stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to like pull out a water spray bottle and spray you in the face like you're a cat. No. Okay? Just stop. Just don't do it. No more interviews. Unless you're going to set the record completely straight. Please and thank you. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Hopefully we're going to have more information here soon. Obviously, more just keeps trickling out bit by bit, day by day. When we get more information, we will talk about it. Trust and believe we will be talking about it for show. Okay? But do me a favor before you head out, hit that like button down below. Let's get it to 1K. Let's get that to 1K. Okay? A like don't cost a thing. You know your boy's working hard out here in these streets. So please hit that like button down below. Send it to 1K. Let's get it past 1K before this show is over. Okay? Hit that like button. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on Facebook. Of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Okay? Hit that follow button on my Facebook page. Please and thank you. Hit that like button on my Facebook page. Okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. Please go check out PascalMerch.com. I got some really dope merch. Go check it out. One of a kind, handcrafted stuff. Okay? This isn't just t-shirts with sayings on them. All right? These are things that are handcrafted by yours truly with these two hands. Okay? So please go check it out. PascalMerch.com. Go subscribe to my secondary channel, Pascal Clips. The Pascal Show Clips, I'm sorry. Go over there and subscribe to my secondary channel, please, and thank you. Okay? And we've been talking about this more as more continues to transpire. Because we got a lot to talk about, unfortunately. It is tragic, but we will get the truth eventually here on this case. May those three guys rest in peace. Real talk. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I appreciate you guys. Without you guys, I'd be talking to a wall. So I appreciate you guys being here and being a part of the conversation. Anyway, it's time to get going. I'll be talking to you guys very soon. Stay safe out there. Oh, my Lord. Someone just bought something from the store. Thank you. Thank you for buying some stuff. Like I said, we got some dope-ish. Go check it out, man. PascalMerch.com. All right? One-of-a-kind type stuff. Anyway, it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. If there's anything going on, any new information on any other cases, we will be talking about it maybe later on this afternoon. So be on the lookout for it. Make sure that notification bell is set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Okay? Anyway, time to go. For real this time. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Stay blessed, stay dry, and stay warm out there, guys. And I'll talk to you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.